Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of, is a fair society possible? And this whole day and age where people are complaining so much about taxes, about not having fair lives and all that stuff, is it still possible in our society to have fairness? Is it possible for us to actually get to a point where everything is equal, where everybody's allowed to have freedom and everybody's allowed to prosper? Well, technically, like everything that's on paper, yes, society could be fair, but unfortunately we kind of are in this we're in a kind of world that's very similar to the chaos that is in the jungle, right? The chaos that you can find in nature, because we are animals after all. So what do animals do? They kill, they take advantage, they do what they need to do in order to survive. And whoever is above the whole chain, whoever is above everybody else, be it on the food chain, be it on the money chain, be it on the society's chain, will remain or will do everything in their power in order to remain at that level. And because of that, it's very hard for society to be fair, because with all the taxes, with all the political things that happen, we are given basically enough. It's kind of like saying, okay, we'll give you pension, but then how the pension was calculated before was 3 years before somebody died. So if you got it at 60, well, the average death was at 63, and now it's going to 65, sometimes to 70, the pension age. And the thing is that because they're trying to calculate it, where they have to give that security, say, oh, you'll be taken care of. You work this way for all this time, you'll be taken care of within your old days, and you're going to be fine. You don't have to worry about that. So you work your whole life for those days, but then those days are calculated in such a way where basically, well, you're not really living. You're either too old, or nowadays, luckily, people are living longer and longer. So that's the whole problem too, because now people are not able to be able to basically well, the governments didn't think about that, and at the same time they're trying to be greedy about it, and they're like, well, no, we don't want to give so much. So that's the problem, is that everything within laws, governments and stuff are supposedly for the people, but, and I'm not saying not some of it is for the people, but I think a lot of it, unfortunately, because the people in power and stuff like that are trying to keep that power and want to be greedy, well, they are able to change laws, change the things, change everything within a society so that it's good for them and not necessarily that good for us. It might give us a tenth of what we should be getting, but it's just enough for us not to create a revolution. Keep us happy enough, but not that happy, and not unhappy to the point where we have to create a revolution. So as long as we have that illusion of freedom, the illusion of being able to be middle class, the illusion of being able to get that new car, get that new cell phone, get that new thing, it's just keeping us in this kind of way, in that kind of manner, where basically we are okay, but we're not necessarily super duper happy. So it's just enough, again, for us not to create a revolution. It's enough for us not to go to war. But is it possible to create a perfect society or a fair society? Perfection? No. Fair? I think if people finally one day realize that we're not part of all these countries, we're not part of all these worlds, we're just actually part of the earth, but even on top of that, we're part of the universe, and we're all part of this ecosystem, we're going to understand that being greedy and all that stuff is actually, even though you're maybe protecting the assets that you have, the big things that you have, you're not really protecting that much, because you're creating less of a world. So at the place of everybody being able to have all the wealth, all the best that the world can give, we're creating chaos. And then people have to think about things like going to heaven, so that their life is not always so bad, or that there's got to be something better than this. And that's where you create chaos, and that's the sadness of the world. But if one day maybe we wake up and we realize that we have so much already, then we'll be able to overcome that. Come on, 100 years ago people would dream of having cars and having cell phones, and or they couldn't even dream because it didn't exist, of having TVs and all that stuff and being able to travel all over the world. So we already live like the wealthy, but comparatively to what other people lived in the past, but we're still so far away of what the world could actually give to us. We are already living basically in paradise. Everything is here. But if we do bad things, if we are greedy, well, paradise can easily turn into a sort of hell, or an in-between, which is basically what I feel most people have. But there's just so much that the world is here to give. So why are we so greedy about things when there's an abundance still? Okay, well, that's it. That's all I have to say on the subject. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.